Good evening. Patrick here. 8 questions with. I have Tito Willview. And the first thing I will say right off the bat is that we are going to have a show tonight. Um, Thank you to those who came yesterday for our interview with Raymond Murray. I don't know what happened to Raymond. I'm hopefully, like I said, hopefully he's okay. That's always my first reaction when I ever have a guest that doesn't that for some reason doesn't show and doesn't let me know. I immediately start thinking the worst, and I just hope that they're okay and we can reschedule them. So yes, hopefully we can reschedule Raymond sometime in the future. But tonight it's all about Bunny Stewart. That's right. Actress and makeup artist Bunny Stewart will be our guest tonight, and she seems to have a very, very fun time being a creative. She is a makeup artist and a working actress, and she's based in Sacramento, which I've actually interviewed a few people from Sacramento. Seems like there's a little bit more going on up there in Sacramento than people are led to believe. So we're going to talk to Bunny uh, um, about that and seeing what the Sacramento scene is alike, as well as independent films and get into makeup, becoming a makeup artist. She's even dabbled in the casting department as well. She's casted a couple of projects. So basically, what we would say about Bunny is she's a multi hyphenate, which means that she can do a lot of different things very, very well. So, and Bunny will be here in about, I say about another 15 minutes or so. Hey, Jaden, how are you? Let's see. And then Anthony is here, and he says that he just moved to Ridgewood and Queens. So he moved to Queens in New York City. All right, all right. I hear that's a nice place. I hear Queens is now Anthony is the new king of Queens. I like it. Um, so yeah, so again, thank you for everybody who came out yesterday to hang out with us. And but we are back. I know it was a little discouraging. It was like I take a month off and we come back and we hit it out of the park, the first two shows, and then all of a sudden then we hit a medical emergency, and who knows. So, but we're back on track. We're back with Bunny Stewart. She'll be here, like I said, in about 15 minutes or so. We also will be back here on Saturday for a matinee, 2 p.m. Eastern time here on my channel. We'll be interviewing film director Richard Stanley will be our special guest, along with special co-host Jerry Montano and the Friendly Men podcast. Um, let's see. Oh, thank you so much. I will definitely ask her about Soul Cage. We're definitely going to ask her about that. Um, and then we'll have to probably end up having to ask you about Soul Cage because I have a feeling this is your movie. And then, yes, definitely will. Definitely will be asking her about Soul Cage. I'm excited to talk to Bunny. She seems to have a lot going on, and boy, she's drop dead gorgeous too, isn't she? She is absolutely beautiful. Um, and she looks very like overall just one of the super nice people in the industry, and we're looking forward to talking to her. I mean, how I mean, anybody with the name of Bunny is automatically goes to the top of the list as being the most vivacious and the most entertaining people that I know. I have never met a bad bunny. I've always met good bunnies. Um, all right. So Richard Stanley will be our guest here on Saturday. He is a well-known filmmaker. He did Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage. He also did Hardware. He's also done Dust Devils, and he's also has known for the documentary of Lost Soul, which was a documentary on Richard during his effort to bring the Island of Dr. Moreau to the big screen. Um, fantastic documentary, and it's really something about that too. And we were talking a little bit about this yesterday. Hello, hello, Dell. How are you? Echo is here. Gotta give a shout out to my main man Dell. He put on a hell of a show the other night. Um, just It was an amazing show, an amazing show. They were talking about Bad Santa, and that was a lot of fun. It was a little different, but it was still a lot of fun. And hats off to Dell for bringing the ship home in one piece. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I noticed one thing. I will have to say one thing that I noticed that me and Dell had in common this week. Our chats this week have just been on fire. The chat, even the chat yesterday, I was really impressed. The chat on with Christy and also with Karen Cleach, also on fire. That's really cool to see. I can't thank you guys enough. I love it. The more the chat moves, the better the show goes. That's how I feel anyway. Um, no, it may not always be on topic. I mean, I was sitting over there on Dell's channel and I was talking college football with Reed. I could sit there going like, well, Dell's even looking at us like, what are you guys doing talking college football on a movie channel? Or he was sitting there taking notes on how much money he's going to win when he bets on San Jose State to beat Coastal Carolina on December 23rd. I don't know which way he was thinking. I like to think that Dell was actually taking the notes for the bet. Who knows? Um, but the chat was fire. We were talking Roadhouse. Roadhouse is an instant hit, right? I mean, as soon as you start talking Roadhouse, we're talking about the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse, by the way. Um, that was a lot of fun as well. Just a just a crazy fun show. There's Echoes in here as well. He will probably be doing. Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. I don't know if there was an Echo side yesterday or not. But I do know that there will be a House of Horrors this Saturday. House of Horrors. They will be talking to this week. I think it's April Bradford. Yeah, I think that's going to be the interview for this weekend. So and then they're going to be talking to John Marie Mack the week after that. Um, Greeting Blastar, how are you? How are you? Wow, sweet. I'm not surprised at that. I think I am sure that she is a valuable asset to any project. She just seems to be like a lot of fun. And not only that, but I love the fact that she has a lot of different hats that she can wear. She can do makeup. She's a makeup artist, and she also could, if you need someone to cast some actors, she could also have the skill set enough to cast a movie. So there's a lot going on with Bunny. I know, right? How about that? But you know what though? Florida State got ESPN. That's what happened to them. ESPN was not going to not have an SEC team in there. They spent way too much money on the SEC, so you know damn well that they were going to put their fingers into the pie, and that's the reason why Alabama got in there. Yeah, that's the case, Dell. That's not a but Florida State can't really cry too much because there's other several teams out there that are undefeated, like I believe Liberty's undefeated, and there's Central Florida from a few years ago that was undefeated, and they never even got close to making the playoffs. So I totally get that, but so they shouldn't be too hurt. They should just expect it. Uh, and Echo says that he's a bad bunny. There's no such thing as a bad bunny. I dare you to come up with a bad bunny. I don't think there is. Every bunny I ever met has been really nice. All right. So I still got to bring the calendar into play because hopefully we gotten our two shows that went dark this week. Hopefully that will be the end of it for the month. Um, so here's what we got going on. Here's what we got going on. Uh, uh, Next week. So next Monday, the 11th, me and Danny Nightmare will be here on my channel talking about The Crow and Daredevil 2003. That will be at 8 o'clock. We're each going to take The Crow. He's going to take the side of The Crow. I'm going to take the side of Daredevil, and we're going to be talking about the movies and what they mean. Have they held up? Are they still relevant in today's superhero genre? what's in the future. Both Daredevil and the Crow. The Crow's being remade. Oops, the doorbell rang. Well, that's what happens. He started talking superheroes, and the doorbell rings. All right, that doorbell means that our guest is here. As you know, we always go get our guests as soon as they get here. So please help us welcome in our guest, actress and makeup artist Bunny Stewart. And here we go. Good
Hello.
evening.
Uh,
Hi, Bunny. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Uh,
Thank you so much for having me.
well, we're already ahead of yesterday's show already because she showed up. Unlike yesterday, which the guest didn't show up. So I look at it already as a win.
That is already a win. And you know what? I swear to God, half of my success is just from showing up.
You know what? I don't I totally understand when people they sometimes they have to cancel. I do. I get that.
But
Um,
yeah,
but I just wish that they would let me know like a little bit in advance, like, well,
I,
like, well,
I
I mean, I understand Beverly from Spooky Kisses couldn't do it because she has, she had surgery. Well, yeah, obviously, there's nothing you could do about that other than to wish her the very best.
yeah, all
And,
the
but yesterday, it's like, okay, especially since, always look at it this way. I always look at the person I'm talking with as a professional in their own right. Um, and I look at it like, they wouldn't like it if it happened to them. So why would you do what you would not want onto somebody else?
never,
Um, yeah.
never, never want that. Never want that. I'd never want to do that to any director. I'd never want to do it to any castmate. Um, I know. I'm recovering from surgery at this very moment. I'm super excited to be talking to someone other than my dogs, honestly. So thanks again for having me on.
Uh, uh, are you okay?
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. I think I need to plead. What's the one where you don't talk about
The,
it?
the fifth.
Yeah. I don't want to get that mixed up with a second, right? The right to your own.
Well, yeah, yeah. Don't want to get mixed up with the second. Yeah, you'll take the fifth. Only that you're doing well. The surgery was a success,
It
and
was a yes, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. But I only bring that up because I had some complications and I had to follow up with my director. And I told him as soon as I knew, because we were supposed to be filming this weekend, and I believe the shoot is still going on. But it is my number one, to never let down, because it's like film, you have to have a veritable army to make it happen.
especially independent wise, it's
Yeah.
really a struggle.
Yeah. So I just I understand, the importance of needing to be there. Maybe that's what we could call this episode.
But of course, your director totally understands. It's something that's beyond your control, right? I mean,
Just
same thing with we've had people on here who've been sick, and it's like that happens. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is you got to take as a host of a show or a director of a movie. You got to take that and turn it into positive energy and send it back to the person because you want that person to be there on your set or in front of you as a guest. You don't ever want to wish ill will on anybody. That's not how it works. And
yeah, sorry,
you
I
know,
didn't know.
yeah, I've actually had a couple of times where I've had somebody has not been feeling very well. They have wanted to come onto the show, but I said no because I didn't want them to be in pain or discomfort. And
Mm,
I sit there and say, you know what? We can always do this again when you're feeling better. So I'd rather do that than to have a guest come on and or the director have an actor come on while they're not in top form. I mean,
mm.
yes, they're there, but you're not going to get their best because they're in pain. They're not feeling good, right?
Right, and that speaks a lot to your character as well. But I wanted to say, the director has been absolutely nothing but kind, and he always has pushed safety before everything else. So yeah. Anyways,
Shout out to that shout out to that director
best.
who yeah, that's awesome. Okay, the chat is already flying. I already see this. Our good friend John Grande just came by. He's going to be watching. Came by. We're both Steeler fans. He came on to say he's going to watch the game tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not so sure what my reaction is. I don't know. Well, I'm glad he's watching it. Let's see. Of course, Steven is here. He calls you Bunakila. I like that. I love that. Uh, let's see. See, Echo says there's a change of plans. We're going to do two House of Horrors this weekend. So
mm,
wow. Okay, so they're moving all sorts of things. I don't know who's coming on Saturday. Type in who's coming in on Saturday, Echo. Our good friend Dell on Movies is here. He's another a fine movie podcaster here on the tube. We're talking about his. He had a show the other night, and it was a lot of fun. Let's see. Helga Mann just walked in. Says I enjoy your work. There's a certain gleefulness in how you address your roles. Dwayne Fletch. Dwayne Fetch.
thank you.
I don't know who Dwayne Fetch is, but that's you. Then awesome. Um, okay, so I read. I don't know. I use it Dwayne Fitz. I don't know if he's saying hi or what. But whatever it is, it's gotta be awesome.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, that was
so
a that I worked with as well.
oh, okay. He's another director.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And I think that was one of the directives I gave to him as one of my psycho characters. He wrote a very good psycho character in The Abduction of Jean. So his name's Blaine Santos. Hi, Blaine.
All right. Oh, okay. A psycho role. I have a feeling that's against type, right? You don't play psychos very often. I take it.
I've played a few. I've played a few. Actually, I was thinking it was one of my favorite kinds of roles to play. You know.
Because people are unexpected. I mean, when you see you and you meet you and you're talking to you, the first thing you think of is you're really warm and bubbly and energetic, and people will, which makes you be a really good psycho because people won't expect that. Uh, Now, do you like being challenged as an actress, Bunny?
Oh, I love it. It's my most favorite thing in the world. It's when I feel the most alive.
What we're back. So it's not StreamYard unless we have snags. I was gonna say, you must be tight. Do you find yourself being cast in a lot of like a lot of bubbly roles? You know, like the best friend's girl or the really cute girl that the guys look at in the coffee shop. I mean, do you like playing the bubbly role more than you or do you like playing the unexpected role? Like, holy shit, she's the slasher. I never saw that coming.
You know what? Honestly, I was trying to figure out that very thing today, and whatever role I'm playing at that time is my favorite. Like
That's
it really, truly is.
I like that. I like that answer. It tells me that you're in the moment, right? I mean, as soon as because do you ever find yourself when you're acting in a role, do you ever find yourself going back to similar roles and thinking, how did I play this in that movie? Or are you able to block it off and just focus on the part in front of you?
I pretty much block it off, but you know, we get to use all of these different aspects in acting and bring a realisticness to the roles. And so, if my character has experience, that she can draw upon from something else, in her past, you bet your life I'm going to draw on that and any real life experience because I'm one of those people. I just I love life, and I love the adventure of it, the daily adventure of it. So, I've had my fair share of um, experiences to draw on. Oh, but your question was, do I get typecast? Um, Sometimes, I've been typecast as a seductress, kind of seductress roles, but I really enjoy those roles. And I found that being typecast is never a problem because I'm working, I'm getting cast. And that's all I care about. Honestly, I want to work. Like, I want to collaborate. I want to make directors' visions come true to life. And I will do that I'll do everything within my power to make that happen. So, yeah, the magic that happens on the set, it's just electric.
Now I see that were you born and raised in Sacramento? It said on I noticed it said you were based in Sacramento. Are you still there now?
I am. I'm based in Sacramento. I have a daughter here, and so I am doing what I can to make the NorCal scene happen. And there's a lot of work in the Bay Area, and there's a lot of different kind of work in Sacramento as well. And I do cobble a living together from makeup artistry and also acting.
Um, Now what came first for you? Becoming a makeup artist, or did you or an actress first?
Actress, just because that was in high school and I loved theater immediately, and it was just so moving the way everyone would come together and work together, and such a draw about the family aspect and how close you get to everyone on set. Um, and then I let it go for a little while, and then I was doing makeup on a film for Jim Meyer, who's a friend of mine. He's also a director, and I'd like to give a shout out to Soul Cage, which is going to be available, I believe, on Amazon and Tubi. So thank you for letting me do that little promotion. But he actually asked me if I could audition for a role of a boxer in a movie. And it was really cool because I had an accident on the way to that audition. I was driving like a maniac, and I don't do that anymore. But I had broken ribs, and so I did not make it to the audition. Before I called the ambulance, I called the director to let him know that I was not going to make it.
That's so Hollywood right there. I'm gonna call the director first. You want to call the ambulance? No, no, no. Get my director. Get my
But
director. Get my director. Get my agent. Oh, and
give her,
then 911. Then the ambulance.
oh my gosh, seriously, but that's just where I naturally go. But they actually held the rule for me until my ribs were good enough to pretend to be a boxer.
Oh my gosh. How many ribs did you end up breaking?
I believe that was 3.
Yeah, you weren't moving around very well there. Oh, that's painful.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah, and actually my dog Brody was like my biggest little companion during that time, and I was like, "Oh, it'd be such a good idea to teach him how to say ball." And so I was like, "Brody," I taught him how to say ball, and I rewarded him. But then that's all he would say, and I was like, there, stuck with my broken ribs. I was like, "Oh gosh darn it, this is why people don't teach their dogs to speak."
Right, right, because they only respond to the what you give with only to the word you give. Well, that's all right. At least he's talking. At least he kept you company. And Jim Meyer is actually in the chat, and he mentioned that we are gonna talk about Soul Cage. We're talking about Soul Cage. Helga is saying that she loved Soul Cage as well. We'll definitely have to talk to Jim and bring him on and see how he about his experiences with Soul Cage. I'll get in contact with him after the show, and because that's how we do things here at Eight Questions with. We just follow wherever the crumb goes. Yeah,
Oh,
wherever the crumb trail goes, we're going there. So
oh
we'll
my.
talk to you, then we'll go talk to Jim. Uh, uh, so yeah, Sacramento seems to be a pretty happening town. I never would have thought that when I lived there. I lived in Carmichael
Oh my goodness. How long ago?
when I was just a midget. I was really young. I was like 6 or 7. I lived
Oh.
on I lived in Carmichael and then before I moved down to the L.A. area. But Sacramento, we always had that. It's always had that reputation as being like they call it sack of tomatoes. But but it does seem to be growing. We talked to several artists that have been based in Sacramento. But what was it like for you when you first started out? I mean, did you stay in the Sacramento area when you first started your acting career, or did you try Los Angeles at one time or another?
Oh, well, I'm always open to travel, but most of my work has been here in the Sacramento area, but I I do, I enjoy traveling quite a bit. So anytime that I'm able to take a role somewhere else, I'll take it. And but there are a lot of really cool things happening here in Sacramento too, like director Nick Leisure. Um, he is actually in negotiations right now, starting a production company, like an entire production in an entirety over at Cal Expo. So it's pretty exciting.
Uh, I've been to Cal Expo. I was like, oh wow, I remember that. That's fun. That's fun. So you're gonna be
Like,
sort of like on the. I mean, every actor now, such as yourself, you get to watch that come to fruition. That's got to be, all the jobs that you took, every movie that you were accredited in, and as an actress, as a makeup artist, it has all indirectly helped him create something big for the rest of the community. So you must feel pretty good about that.
no, my gosh, I wish I could take credit for his initiative.
Well, I mean, I think for anybody to do that, there's got to be a groundwork for it. There's got to be something there to base it on. You just don't go in there and like, I'm just going to set up a film studio right here. If there's no community, if you don't have a film community and you don't have professional actors, yeah, you're not going to it's probably not going to work out so well. It's going to take a very, very long time. But now when
Yeah.
you have talent such as yourself or Galen Howard, who's also based in Sacramento, it's got to make it. It's got to be. Now you don't have to travel so much, even though you do like to travel. But now you got something in your own backyard. And something to be proud of.
I am
Um,
so for the whole region, for all of the talented and deserving people that you know I've been saying for a long time. Education is the key to professionals in every whatever position they are on a film set, to promoting, like, just rocketing Sacramento to being a place on the map that is worthy of bringing big production into town. And I'm sorry, I'm like so excited, I'm like tripping over my words like a big nerd.
no, no, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Let me catch up real quick on the chat. Dwayne Fitch is from Abduction of Gene. Okay, that's one of your films that you've done. He also says hello. Blast Star says hello. Red Bell Peppers is in the room. He says hello, Bunny. See, let's see. Helga says there will be more in the Gretchen role. Blaine and I are working on a series. There's also Hazel. I'm a co-writer, so there's a new project that we'll have to investigate a little bit more. See. Echo saying that Gabby is going to be their special guest on Saturday. She's in a lot of various cool projects. I see. Steven says you have one of the best smiles. I agree with that. Jim Meyer mentioned Soul Cage is available now. Watch it tonight. Is it available on Tubi and Amazon, Jim, or where's it available at? Helga mentions that she loved Soul Cage. Let's see.
Uh,
John is here. Says hi, Bunny. Says hi to everybody else. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Um, and he says he's a friend of yours. Let's
mm,
see. I'll catch it up here.
mhm.
I've worked with Bunny on over a half a dozen plus productions, from sound to actor to director. Is an amazing actress and will do virtually any role. She is professional, creative, and reliable. And wow, when it comes down to independent filmmaking, I think the word that most directors are looking for when they're looking for an actor, it is reliable, isn't it?
Oh my God, I think so, and it means, like, honestly, that just made me want to cry, because that means everything to me.
Um, have you been on projects where that's happened to where you showed up to work for the scene partner and some member of the crew or an actor hasn't shown up?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually, how I get a lot of my experience on sets. Like, I have done sound. um, I have worked a camera.
Wow. Because
I'm not,
the person there didn't show up, so you stepped up, you next
or
man up.
yeah, they just, in whatever situation, it's like, okay, so all of these things can come together and work and make this amazing, story, or you know thing that we're trying to tell people about. And so the biggest, the thing that makes it the most, interesting and interactive and alive and electric, is the thing that makes it so difficult to make happen, because it's the human condition. And we all know that the human condition, it's perilous. Things happen. People get into accidents on their way to, auditions, or, and sometimes you just need to help out. And and that's another thing I actually love about it. I'm absolutely down to do the talent's makeup and then hit a button for the camera operator. Absolutely.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about your beginning of your career. You started acting in high school, you said. So what was the first project you ever worked on outside, what was the first project you ever worked on where you had an audition that you had to audition for?
The first role that I had was, it was a film noir, so it was black and white, and it was a short. And I don't remember the name of it, but I got to play somebody that witnesses a beatdown, well, a murder, actually, and observing, and then goes in and is by the body, and kneels down and pats them down and takes their wallet and leaves. So that was really fun, just because you would think, if someone's going in and kneeling down, are they going to make sure they're okay?
Right. But then you go ahead and take their wallet and like, yeah, that's about right. Today's world, right?
Like, grief,
Well,
unfortunately. Yeah, it feels like that sometimes.
uh, yeah, oh, you see it, something like that happen, and you go, "Oh my gosh, someone's gonna go over and help that person," and then you find out where they're actually filming them with their cell phone.
Oh my God, right. That that's a travesty. That's a travesty. I think they should start giving out tickets to people that do not help in emergencies.
Yeah, it would be, because they're taking the camera, they're filming it today. Tomorrow, they could be the one being filmed. You're right. You're absolutely right. Uh, so I noticed I'm looking at your body of work here, and you started out in doing a feature film at first, Predatory Lender, and with a featured film. Um, did you have any? Did you go to for your training? Did you go to college for your training? Did you take acting classes before you started? I mean, how did you prepare yourself for your roles?
Um, each role I will research, and uh, but I I did a lot of acting classes. I continue. I continue to do any kind of training that I possibly can.
Right.
Um, Improv, you like technological, not technological. I'm sorry, I'm so blonde sometimes. The technical, like the Meisner style. I like the Meisner style of acting. I will always just be on the lookout for new classes to take and new experiences to have, because any single thing that you do in your lifetime that becomes a skill or anything uh, becomes an asset that you could possibly bring to any character on set. I did study a little bit. I studied, in high school, and I studied a little bit in Chicago, and then I took classes out here from all different people, and I'm actually looking to take some more. So,
So you're always looking to improve your skill set. I mean, so
always.
I mentioned this story lots of times, but it sticks with me because I always thought it was really impressive. But I read an interview with Harry Hamlin, and he's
Mhm.
72 years old, and he still says he takes an acting class once a week.
Oh my gosh, once a week. Good.
Yeah,
Wow. That's awesome. I should
yeah.
do that.
Uh, um, so what, how did you get your first, did you have to audition for your first role? Was it, and how do you like auditioning now? Do you like to audition in person, or are you doing you have to film your audition?
I'm attempting to film my auditions, but I favor the in person. I think that you can get a lot more information, like for what they need for their film in person. And there's a lot of technical stuff that I am not good at for the self tape part of
Self
it.
self taping that's a tough one. That's not very easy, is it?
It's not. And I don't know if you can hear my dogs here, but they are so loud.
Maybe they're too busy stealing scenes from you.
I know. I know, right?
Let's see. Catch up real quick on the chat here. It is flying.
Ooh.
Uh, hey, Shock Theater official, welcome in, welcome in. Let's see. Let's see. Steven says that he would have given up promotion if it wasn't for Bunny.
Oh,
Uh, that's high praise indeed. Since Steven is a very good promoter. See, Hey Ho Studios is in the house saying hello, Bunny. She's a great actress and makeup artist and gal of many talents.
mm,
Um, see, like
oh,
I think and Dale mentions that it's cool that you're always working to improve yourself. Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of actors. I think a lot of times in between jobs, you know, they it's hard to keep up that energy. Like during the strike. I mean, how did you keep yourself busy during the strike? Are you in SAG and AFTRA yourself?
I'm not. I'm not. I support it, and I 100% back everything that they had the strike for. And I am non-union. I wasn't bound by the same clauses, and I was able to do a little bit. The pandemic was a little bit harder because everything shut down entirely, but even then there's things that you can do to be creative and have fun. Like, that's the time to get involved in your independent film community and do a 48-hour film challenge, or do what you can.
Have you done a 48-hour film challenge?
I did, yeah.
I do like it.
Oh, I loved it, actually. I've done it quite a bit. I work with the California Film Foundation quite a bit, Martin Anaya, and he always has a 48-hour film challenge every year. And I've doing, I don't know how many I've done in total, maybe 3 or 4. But yeah, this one was really fun because I got to play a character, and then I got to play my character's mom. So I got to do the aging makeup and everything.
Now, now do you keep the set? Do you separate the bunny actress from the bunny makeup roles for the makeup artist, or have you done both? Have you done makeup artist and acting at the same time?
I
Wow.
have done acting at the same time, and I love that because as a makeup artist, you get to know someone, you get very close into their space, and you get to touch them, and it's a very like trusting role. It's a very trusting job. As a result, I can have chemistry with my co-stars before we even get in front of the camera.
Wow. So that's an asset.
It is magical.
Now, does that sometimes hurt the scene though? Maybe because maybe you're not supposed to be too familiar with your co-star, but then again, you sort of are. Do you find yourself having to rein that in sometimes because you're a little bit too familiar? Is it a is it hard balancing those two roles? You know, between
Definitely,
acting and no. Uh,
definitely. No, just when you step into a role, I find learning the lines a little bit easier because if you step into that character fully, what they're saying just makes sense. So it's not really like lines that you have to remember. It's like feelings that you have to convey to the next person. So I'm not the makeup artist when I'm in front of the camera, unless I'm the makeup artist in front of the camera.
Right, isn't that something? I mean, it must be does it affect you? Does it affect sometimes when you're acting, like, you're getting prepared to get into your role, it's your scene, and you're getting locked into it, and all of a sudden it's like, "Makeup," and then you have to break out of that. Does that happen quite a bit? How do you handle that?
No, actually, that I do my makeup to really stay through anything like sweat. It's 115 degrees Sacramento summer out here, and we're still out there filming. I do my makeup to do underwater photo shoots. Withstand apocalypses. I've done apocalypse makeup, and I do it so that it stays as much as it can under whatever circumstances that they are filming under. So I also have somebody there to powder me or powder them because usually that's what it'll take in between roles. But if the actor needs their makeup touched up and we need to like leave the set anyways, it pares down the time because I leave with that actor, touch up their makeup, we go back together, we get right back into the scene. But yeah, I do need other people around to help
Yeah,
like powder mostly. Yeah.
okay. How did you get your start in the makeup? I mean, how did you was it because were you always attracted to doing it, or was this something that you were just curious about? How did you get involved in it?
Um, I love makeup ever since I was a little girl. I got into my mom's makeup and got in trouble for it. And my mom was she's just very like common sense Midwestern lady. Like if you imagine the opposite of me, that's my mom. Very like calm and very scientific, black and white. And she never wears anything. Like so I just came out like this, I think, and I just would do anything to get my hands. I made my own makeup in high school because
Oh, wow.
she wouldn't buy me makeup.
So okay, so how did you end up making your own? I mean, was this stuff you picked up from books?
No, no. I took baby powder, or maybe it was cornstarch, and I crushed up little, I would drop in red food coloring and I would crush it up until it would mix. And it was not missable. So it was a long time. And I had it in this little candy tin and I would carry cotton ball with me and like touch it up. And I remember one time I was in the bathroom and this really popular, like really pretty girl asked me if she could use my powder and I like gave it to her and she was just like looking at it like, what is this? And I was
Mhm.
like, she's like, it's a little pink, isn't it? Oh, what can you do? I'm I'm kind of pink.
Okay, okay. Well, that's really cool. That's cool. Let's go back to. I mean, I'm going to go back. What was the first movie that you did double duty on, where you both as an actress and as a makeup artist? What was the first movie that you worked on in those roles?
Predatory Lender.
Wow, your very first movie.
Very first one.
So whoever hired you for that project, they must have known. They must have known something. They must have saw a lot of talent in you
Aw,
to give you that because that's a lot of responsibility. I mean,
it is.
out of your first project, I mean, you're just hoping that someone can get there to do acting, or if you're just there for someone who can do makeup, but to get someone who could do both and trust them with. So you must be very, very skilled.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I credit Jim Meyer and Burt Wright and Robert Parham for giving me the chance. Jim really helped me and he saw something in me. And I will be forever thankful for him for trusting me in those roles with his baby, because these movies are their babies.
Now, now we've talked, we talked about you going against type. Like most of your early roles were the real warm and bubbly personality. What was the first role that you had? What was the first role that challenged you? That you read and go like, wow, this is heavy. What was the first film that you worked on where you were just, and did you have self-doubt, or did you welcome the challenge of reading a more detailed and more in-depth script?
Mm. I have self doubt every minute of every day. I have self doubt right this second. Um,
Ooh. Why do you think that is? I mean, you're very successful. I mean, why do you still is it sort of like your sometimes people use something like that as as a motivation. Is that something that helps keep you grounded? That self-doubt? Does it help you keep you, like, okay, not to go way out there or not to extend yourself too much. I'm gonna stay within. I'm comfortable right where I'm at today.
no, I'll never do that. I'll never stay where I'm comfortable. Uh, I think the self doubt comes in when I care so much about making what I'm doing worthwhile for this creator, whoever it is, who has trusted in me to bring something special to their movie, their television show.
I can see why there's a ton of directors in this chat. And they're all saying the same thing. No, there's a lot here. I'm looking up. There's Hey Ho Studios. There's Jim. There's Blastar. I mean, there's a lot of people here from different studios and whatnot. Shock Theater official. I mean, I'm not sure if they're a studio or not. What I'm getting from that is that they really do appreciate that, because not every single person, every actor has that dedication. Most of the time, it's all about what they're doing in that moment, you know. But to come in there going like, my first responsibility is to the director and making sure his vision is 100%. That's, believe it or not, I have not really talked to a lot of actors who've said that answer first. I mean,
Oh,
they feel that way, but they have never expressed it as early as you have. Like, when I get hired, my responsibility is to the director and to his story, his vision, not
yeah.
myself. Myself, I don't come first before his story. I come
Mm-mm.
after his story. That's really refreshing to hear.
My gosh, thank you.
In fact, I'm going to turn that question to the chat and some of these directors and producers that are in the chat. Do you guys find that very often? Do you find actors that are 100% dedicated to bring your story first and foremost, or do you find the actors that are there for themselves first and foremost? Blaine. Blaine is okay. Thank you, Blaine. Do you find actors that are that's what they care about first and foremost is your story, your vision, or do you find them wanting to know what their place in the story is, or what their part is, or how many lines they have? So I'm going to ask that in the chat and see if they'll see if they answer that, because that's really a really cool answer.
Oh.
I'm not even a film director, but I feel like casting you anyway. Uh,
Like movie.
Uh, uh, that is such an honest answer. But why the self doubt?
Oh, I it's just born within me. It's part of who I am.
And whereas most people where self doubt would actually hurt them, it actually helps you. That's interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you have to learn to. I've had to learn how to live with. Uh,
But do you have self confidence?
I do. I might have too much sometimes.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. Hey Ho Studios. I like the idea of actors getting the vision and doing their best to fulfill it. At the same time, all actors bring their certain flavor and they bring the story to life. Jim mentions a lot of very self-centered. A lot of them are very self-centered. So someone like Bunny and our friend Blaine are a rare breed and much appreciated.
Mhm.
Self-doubt makes a person work harder. So obviously they see the same thing that I did. I agree with that. I agree with that, Helga, about that. I think self-doubt that because you find yourself having to prove yourself over and over and over. People don't, they don't take you at you. You gotta find yourself having to prove your worth. Even though you have a great resume and you shouldn't have to be in that position, but it works for you. You come in there going like, I'm not resting on my laurels. This is
Yeah,
my first job. This is my, do you treat your roles as that when you get parts of the movies? Do you treat it as is it your first film?
every moment to me is like I've never been in this moment. I've never been in this moment talking to you. Like this is an adventure. So literally, everything feels like a brand new day every day.
Right. So every experience is brand new, even though you've done other press, but this today is like it's almost like the first time you're experiencing it every time you do it.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. But
Aw.
though, I do. I have the. I think I have the sense of wonderment. Like I'm always excited to be here. I'm always excited to talk to somebody new.
You
You
have
know,
it.
yeah. I have never sat here and just like, oh, this is another show. Never once have I done that. I've always looked at it as just like you said, like a new adventure.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, more from Blaine. The relationship between directors, the best actors and actresses work with you to create the craft and the story. I've seen where both have their own vision and collaboration vision. Bunny works with you. Yes. And you never rest on your laurels. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. That's where that self-doubt comes from because you don't rest on your laurels. You're always got that like, I can't afford just to walk in there and produce a 100% effort. I have to work at that. And that's the attitude it should be, right? Your attitude should be, oh, I'm just not here for another independent film. I'm here for to make this director's vision bright and shiny and
Yeah,
to work.
absolutely. I want to work. I want to work together. We're absolutely all there to do a job and we can have a really fun time while we do it.
So let's go back to that one question: is what was the first script that challenged you as an actress? Like holy cow, can I play this character? Who is she? What's she about? I've never played anybody like this. What character was it, and how did you make her your own?
Well, each role does come with a certain set. You come and you bring what you have to the table. And again, I go back to Predatory Lender, where I played a boxer and I got formal training for boxing. Much to the film's credit, they hired a really good boxer in the area to train me how to fake it. enough, to look legitimate enough on camera. And that was a challenge. And then going to Blaine's movie Abduction of Jean, I'd say that was the biggest psychological challenge because there was a slapping scene in there, and Blaine insisted he wanted real slaps. And when we started, I said, I don't think you want to do that. But
Were you
he's,
were you being, were you the one being slapped, or were you the one slapping?
oh, I was slapping. And it's so fun.
You put
Blaine,
some emphasis on that.
he sent me a compilation of another actor getting slapped on another show, but he has a compilation of all of the slaps that he endured. And, I swear, I'm little and I think I was trying to hold back, but make it look real for the camera. And he wanted me to slap him. He's a director. He told me to. But, I swear, I had to reset after that because being violent is not in my nature, and hurting someone, it messed with my head. And immediately, well, not immediately, but shortly after that, we were filming a party scene where I had to be very gregarious and happy. So there was a resetting period in there.
I can understand that. I can understand, being asked to do something you don't, what when you reset. I mean, when you have to do a scene like that where like it's not comfortable for you, and you have to reset. What do you do to reset? What's your process like?
So we were on location, and I actually took a bath.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I get
yeah, took a
a bath
bath.
is a yeah, a bath is a really good way to reset.
It is, yeah, and it's a nice way to just like calm down. There's something about water that's just so calming. And I I redid my makeup. That's always very calming for me.
Um, Blaine's mentioning Blaine's mentioning. Do you do? Does she know that, Blaine? I mean, 'cause if she doesn't, she's gonna like totally. Did you know you knocked a tooth loose when you're with
I
your son?
But he didn't tell me until 2 months later.
Oh my God! I'm glad he didn't tell you that day. That would have ruined you, wouldn't it?
Oh my gosh.
And he says he loves you though, so he's all is forgiven.
I
Wow.
all the slaps that he has a compilation of all of the slaps that I gave him. He put it all together. Then he has a compilation of us hugging afterwards too.
Okay. Okay.
Let
Is that the only time have you ever been asked to do that? I mean, have you ever been asked to physically hit somebody?
Yeah, mostly it's like, well, like I played a boxer, but I mean that's mostly like faking it.
Yeah.
And I full on wrestling scene grappling. So I in a different one, that got cut out of the movie. I was so upset. But no, I will be there, and I will be there to take direction, because actually my character did not mind slapping him. And
Oh,
that's the
right, right. Okay, okay. So it was in character, so that makes sense. But
she
still, but that's great though, right? So that's something now that you know that you can do tomorrow. If he asked you to slap him again tomorrow, you would not have any sort of you wouldn't be nervous about it. You sit there and say, it's just part of the job. It's part of this vision.
I would think that he would not ask me to slap him again.
Yeah, now he wouldn't. Maybe now, like, well, maybe maybe he needs the other tooth worked on. Maybe you can have you slap him on the other side of the face. Uh, so what are more what's the more because I see you as being drop dead gorgeous, so I'm sure you get asked to do a lot of the girlfriend scene and the romantic scenes and all that. But what do you like better doing? Do you like doing those close intimate scenes, or do you like doing scenes like where you slap somebody across the face? I mean, is it more fun for the physical aspect of it, or is it more fun, doing the quiet scenes, one on one?
Oh my gosh. Well, and there is the conundrum. I can't pick. I love the slapping scenes, and I love when you can vulnerable with the camera, and, like, let them in. So, it's just whatever is happening at that moment, that's what I is my favorite.
Okay, okay. So basically, bas- Blaine's tearing it up. He's sitting there saying, "I will put in a mouth guard in next time."
Oh, Blaine,
Don't mess with Bunny.
we
Don't
need
let
to leave
don't let,
me
yeah,
for Blaine's dental care after the
yeah,
slap
don't.
hurt.
That's funny. Have you ever seen the show How I Met Your Mother?
I did, yeah.
And they had the slaps giving. They had the five slaps throughout the.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember it very much.
Yeah, one of the characters they lost a bet, and so
Oh my
they
god,
had, remember Barney and Marshall. Yeah, and Barney lost the bet to Marshall, and Marshall could slap him 5 times at any time.
well, that is so brutal. Oh my god,
Uh,
not coming.
so what was your first the romantic scene, so to speak? What was it like for the first time for you? Was it something scary for you? Was it something, how did you prepare for that?
I think that it's very easy to fall in love with elements of a person in the moment. Yeah,
That's
like,
honest. That's honest.
if you look into someone else's eyes long enough, you might fall in love.
Yeah. That makes sense, doesn't it, Bunny? I mean, it makes sense that we hear about actors falling in love with each other when they do in a movie. And I think it's
Um,
probably because of scenes like that, right?
right, like they don't know when to cut.
Now, without any great details, but has that ever happened to you? Have you ever fallen in love, or has your scene partner ever fallen in love with you? I
I
mean, and how do you walk away from that? Like, okay, that was really intense. Basically reset. How do you like separate yourself? The actress from the human. From the is it a danger for actors to, if they're not careful to have that happen to them?
maybe for some actors, I'm incredibly in love with my husband. He treats me like gold, and I will never do anything to jeopardize that. So I can't love anyone else the way that I love him because he knows me in a way that nobody else does.
Sure.
He's here
Now,
behind the scenes when I got my surgery. And so, falling in love with a person on camera can be very easy. And when the camera shuts off and you walk off set, you hug the person, and I always just thank them for the role that they've played in my life. And then it's kind of like changing shoes, and I just have different shoes on.
okay. I love the fact that you're honest about that. About yeah, that does happen because a lot of times you don't hear that. Because it does happen.
Yeah.
Um, what about when you play a villainous though? Like like there is somebody out there you don't like, and you're the antagonist, and you're going against the good person or whoever. How do you prepare for that? I mean, how do you get ready to be mad at that person? I mean, is it easy for you to get there? Because those roles, I mean, you don't find yourself playing those roles too often, right? Where you're the villainous.
You know, maybe more than what you'd think, but I love them, and it's the same thing. I've had a pretty amazing, like, life, and I've had some really interesting experiences, and I have not always been uh so grateful and spiritual and blessed. I have been an absolute psychopath out there in the world. And I do have experience, that is also just as easy as putting on a pair of earrings and drawing into that.
Um, you mentioned a couple of times now from your experiences, growing up and what have you. What were some of the experiences that you experienced growing up? What kind of experience did you what did you draw from those experiences and put into your acting? Do you take anything from when you're growing up? Did you put that into your acting, or is it something that's you keep separate?
I do. I integrate it into my acting, and I absolutely am the person I am today by going through, my specific experiences in life. And fortunately, there's the silver lining in just seeing so many different ways to live life, and so many different ways to approach the same situation from different perspectives. And so it was a blessing. And I'm trying to think of what I can say without, I think my
Yeah,
family
yeah,
my
you don't
family
need to go into detail.
used to be worried.
I just want to know if you were able to take some of your experiences and put it in there. We got the answer for sure.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. We don't need to go into specifics. I mean, you've shared that much with us. We're happy.
Oh,
Uh,
that, but yeah, I think my family was worried I was going to go on like some tell-all talk show, and I just never did. So thank God.
Now, do you keep a journal? Do you keep journals?
I kept a journal, and then somebody found it and actually used it against me in court. So,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, court entered the first time. Uh-oh.
yeah,
Yeah, that sucks.
no,
So
I'm
do you
kind of,
think
yeah. So I do not keep a journal. I have not kept a journal since then, just because, well, I have, but I'm not smart enough to like hide my journal very well. So,
well, yeah, but now that yeah, but now that yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about that now. I mean,
no,
now is your husband in the business as well? Is he also into acting and directing and whatnot?
not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. He did play bass. He was a bass player in a band called Holiday in Spain, and then in this other band called the Ostrich Theory. So he knows a little bit about performing, and he has given it up because he got to a certain point and just said, this isn't fitting with my life now, and it's not really practical. And so he's a 9 to 5 guy, and just one of the most normal guys you'll ever meet.
And he must be very proud of you though.
He is. He's
He should
my
be.
my biggest supporter.
That's awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. You mentioned you like going on to travel to different on different movies. Where's been the funnest place that you've ever shot a movie at, and which movie has been the worst you had the worst experience shooting?
um, it was really fun to shoot San Francisco Cowboy because we got to go to all of these different places in San Francisco that are just known for their beauty, and actively shoot scenes there. And I'm trying to think of the worst. I think the worst was in 115-degree weather out by the Sacramento River.
Oh gosh, yes, yes, yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, we lived by the American River.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
You have to be careful around the American River, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a treasure. That's a treacherous river, boys and girls. That river is no that when it gets when the snow melts, that's no joke. That river is mean.
Oh man, you're making me want to go kayak down it.
Oh man, it's I don't know what it was. I don't know what it's like today, but back then we used to go fishing there, and we
Really?
go fishing and off the banks.
Oh,
Our house where we lived at, all we had to do is just go down a half a mile and you're at the bank. But
oh my
that water, yeah, the water was fast. It was like, yeah, it wasn't. It was kayaking water. It wasn't like canoe water. Um, tell us some of tell us some of the things tell us some of the location, like I mentioned before, your favorite location. Where are some of the places you would like to go if you could film a movie? Where would you like to go to film it? I mean, do you have a bucket list of places you would like to go make a movie at?
oh my goodness. I would love to make a movie in Australia, but I feel like it might kill me.
Yeah, Australia's they have like like every other animal there could kill you.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why I want to go there so bad. For the challenge of it, I guess. Just let's see. I would love to go to a different country. Um, like I don't know. Every location that I hear about, I am always thinking, oh, they're so lucky that they get to film there. It's kind of a FOMO situation. Like, I just want to be there.
Right, right. Now, have you been out of California to shoot a movie yet?
I guess Michigan,
Okay.
but
How'd you like Michigan?
oh, I love Michigan. I shot I shot a movie there because I'm from there. So that was that.
No way.
Right,
Oh,
pat down
where in Michigan are you from?
Kalamazoo.
Oh, Kazoo. Okay.
Uh, you know it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Western Michigan Broncos.
Woo!
Yeah. My wife went to school there.
No way.
Yep.
Oh
And
my,
that's what, yeah. I've been to Kazoo. I'm actually based in Michigan.
you're based in Michigan right now?
Yeah.
What part of Michigan?
It's a little town called Canton. It's about 18 miles away from Ann Arbor.
Oh my gosh. I used to go to Hash Bash over in Ann Arbor.
Oh yeah, they're getting ready to have that now.
They
They're,
can't
they're
have it?
getting, well, it almost got ended. They almost stopped it, but then they rallied and saved it. So Hash Bash is still going on.
Wow. Oh, cool.
So, how old were you when you moved from Michigan to California?
It was about 15 years ago, and I have to be honest, I skirt the truth when it comes up to my age. So I'm going to be real shady about details surrounding
Sure,
all that.
sure, I understand. No. I'm just saying, yeah, no. So, yeah, I've been here for about 23 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. I miss it. Oh my gosh, what's the weather there like right now?
It is. Let's see, it is 38 degrees,
Brutal.
but our winter has not hit yet. It's not. It's only snowed one time so far.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's
That's
it. So yeah. I mean, it's our weather. The winter as we know it, as you know it, this doesn't happen anymore. You know, it used to snow in November, in October and November. Doesn't do that. It doesn't do that anymore. Not
whoa.
here. You guys got lake effect snow, so yeah, they still get that, but we don't have that here.
Oh my goodness. You must be just enough inland to miss it.
Yeah, we're on the other side of the state. I mean, we're not that thank God. Lake effect snow is terrible. Steven says that Bunny. Hi, Joe. Joe Geip is here. Hello. Uh, Stephen Chang. Steven says Bunny is immortal. Uh,
Oh,
um, yeah. And then he says he tried and get her to Texas, but don't want her to melt. Yeah, Texas. Well, believe me, you don't melt if you live in Sacramento. It's Sacramento was a hot place to live. It's easily the match of Texas.
oh yeah. Yeah. I actually love Texas. I was in a commercial in Texas for Texas saying I love Texas.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you like doing commercials? I mean, do you get a lot of commercial work in Sacramento? Do
I,
businesses see you when they know you and ask you to advertise for their business?
oh, I would love to do more. I would be so happy to do. as much commercial as I possibly can. I don't have a very commercial look right now as far as what the norm is, so I don't get as much as I would like. But I mean, like, I'm just greedy. I just want it all. I want all the work. I want all the time. I want it all.
See, Joe has a question. Question: if you had to be in a Star Wars movie, what character would you be? Which character would you like to play in a Star Wars movie?
C3PO. I'm just kidding. That was probably a question. um, I would be. I think I'm hilarious. I'm so sorry.
That's so funny.
Um,
That's an
Princess.
honest answer, though. I mean, when people ask me what's the one word to describe Bunny Stewart, I'm gonna say honestly, honesty.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. Thank
yeah.
you.
So you play C3PO. That would be that would be very cute. I would see. Uh, let's see. Larry says that Texas is pretty legit melting weather.
Oh,
Yeah, Sacramento can get up there too. It can get up to 115 degrees with humidity, and it's hot as hell up there. Uh,
oh,
uh, uh, yeah, I mean, do you have any dream roles that you would like to play? I mean, do you keep a list of characters or character types that you like to play? Do you keep them in a like in a like like your own journal, what have you? And then do you look for auditions to match up with the characters you like to play?
that's a good question. And I'm saying that because I'm stalling for time. But can you ask me that again?
Yeah. Do you find yourself writing down the different characters you like to play? Like I like to play bank robber. I like to play a politician. I like to play an evil dictator. Do you ever write them all down on a piece of paper? And then when you're looking for, because I know you read the trades and you're always looking for, who's casting what or what have you. Do you find yourself trying to match the characters you want to play when you're looking for auditions?
Being a dynamic person and having different pieces of my personality to pull from makes it pretty um it's pretty awesome. Like, played a bank robber actually. Check out Andrew's New School, directed by Vert Wright. It was about a modeling school instructor who is running out of funds, and her girls go rob a bank. And I think that's on YouTube. So it's called Andrea's New School. And so no, it's more, I just bring whatever I can honestly to the role. You're sideways right now, by the way. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I got froze here. I gotta fix it. One
Oh.
second.
So I can just show different aspects of my personality and see if that fits with the director's vision. And I'm willing to get real gnarly with it too. I shot something with Robert Parham where he was just like, we're sick of seeing like the pretty Bunny Stewart. Let's show us the ugly. And I was there for it. Real, I will get raw, I will get ugly, I will do whatever that role takes.
Mm, okay. Okay, I get that. Have you played what's the most despicable character you played? The one if you ever met her that you would just go off on. I mean, you ever met anybody who's just
Oh,
is there a limit to the type of character you'll play on screen? I mean, if someone asked you to play someone who no, you'll play anyone?
I would. I mean, obviously, I would not step on anyone's cultural, uh,
Right.
what do you call that? But if a director could see me doing something in a role, that means that they see something, and they see something in me that I possibly could make happen in the way that they want to see. Uh, so the only role that I turned down was the role of a rape victim, and that's because it was too realistic and it was too close to home. That's
Right.
the only turned down. I've played despicable characters that I would never talk to in real life. You know, I've played a racist character. It's
Okay.
disgusting. You know?
Now, a lot of people say they like playing the villains. I like playing the villains because they have more. It's more meat on the bone. But what happens when you do play a character like that, like a racist character? Is that it's not so much fun, is it? I mean, it's an important character, and it needs to be played in the story. But I
Because
can't imagine that cannot be very much fun playing them.
mm, well, I don't think a lot of those really hated characters, they themselves hate themselves. So, like, them feeling bad about themselves, it's just a given, you know? All of these anti heroes, you come into it with what made them that way, something. So they already feel incredibly ugly inside. And it's just showing their ugliness. Like they're just being honest with it, you know?
Is that the
But
difference between a hero and an anti-hero for you? Is a hero will mask his feelings, or an anti-hero will express them?
what is that?
I said, do you think that's a good definition between a hero and an anti-hero, where a hero will mask their emotions? They'll hide themselves, where an anti-hero will not be afraid to express themselves.
No, I think it's more about intentions. I think the heroes are the ones with the good hearts. The heroes are the helpers, and the anti heroes are looking to burn down the world.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Was Batman a hero or anti-hero?
He's a hero, I think.
Interesting. Interesting.
What do
Um,
you think?
Me?
Yeah.
Uh, I think that Batman is one of the honestly, I love Batman when I was growing up, but as an adult, I think he is one of the most self-centered and selfish characters ever created. No, I don't think he's a hero. I don't think he's a hero as we know it.
Yeah.
He, now
And I,
Rorschach, it's like, see, and that was funny. We're just talking about this because I was just reading how Alan Moore actually wrote the character Rorschach, and he wrote it as supposed to be satirical. It's supposed to be satire. But
oh,
and honestly, because especially since the way that Jackie Earl Haley played him, he came across as being honest. He was not a he was really honest. I
hmm,
mean, he was a really deep character. I think Alan Moore said, he says, I wouldn't want any, if anybody come up to me and said that they liked Rorschach, that's somebody I wouldn't want to be around. Well, I don't know. I think you got it wrong. I think you got it wrong. I think that's the exact person you want to be around. Someone who's not afraid to get to do what needs to be doing.
yeah,
Sometimes, sometimes people need to go. And
yeah,
there's people out there willing to do it, then that happens.
yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and where you have Batman, he gets thrown in, he keeps on throwing the Joker in Arkham, but every time he comes out, he slaughters innocents. Whereas
Oh,
Batman can stop that, he chooses not to because he's more interested in the game with the Joker than he is actually in saving lives. That's why
oh,
it makes Batman a really villain and not a hero.
this is interesting.
Uh, um, so, what do you got coming up next in 2024? You got any big projects coming up? Or let's talk a little bit about Soul Cage. Let's do that first because I was. So tell us how you got the role in Soul Cage and what's your role in it.
I play a corrupt psychiatrist who is trying to get information for the bad guy because she's being blackmailed. And it is a really cool movie, and it's starring Kirby Delane. It has Eric Roberts. It has Robert Parham. It has so many just really cool people. And Kirby Delane is an actual world record champion brick breaker. Like, she does karate. And so it's a really fun action movie because they're really doing like very cool action moves. And uh, I forgot the question.
Did, did you get the slapper?
No. Oh, I got to give her a black eye with
Oh,
makeup.
there you go. There you go. And do you get any scenes with Eric Roberts?
I did. I
What
did.
what was it like working with him?
You know, it was really interesting. It was really interesting. And I learned so much from every actor that I work with. And he would kind of shut it down until the cameras were rolling. So I was kind of like worried a little bit, because we were sitting there and he was giving me nothing. So I was like, okay, well, you just got to do what you can with your scene partner, whatever they're giving you. That's so, it's like he decided to engage when the cameras were on, and it was electric because that was when he came alive. So it was very realistic. And he threw in a little kiss scene.
Oh, that was I guess that was improv, right?
That was improv. Yeah. Yep, it was. So, cameras were rolling. What do? You gotta kiss them, right?
Right? No, no. Eric Roberts, yep.
Yep.
I think he probably shut down because he has that guy's so prolific. That guy's been in probably more movies now than anybody else in history.
I know.
Um, but he's
Favorite
good.
actor.
But he's good, isn't he? He's real
He is.
good.
He plays such a good bad guy. Ugh.
Yeah. I like watching him. I mean, it's insane. It's insane because like you said, he comes in and as soon as the camera's on, he um he brings it, and he does. He brings it in every movie that he's in. I used to not watch a lot of his movies because he's in so many of them. I'm going like, how in the hell can this guy? How in the hell can he be that good at every single movie? But by God, if he isn't good in every movie that he's in,
By God, he is. And I know one of his most recent roles is one that, like my daughter likes it. And it was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine playing Figgis. And did you ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I've only seen it a couple of times. I hear it's very funny though.
It's pretty funny. You should catch the one where he's well, it's actually like a series where he's like the main bad guy in a few episodes. But yeah, check out his role in it. You'll love to hate him.
So what else you got coming up in 2024?
Right now, we are finishing a movie called A Blood Moon Rising, directed by Justin Smith. And I've gotten to work with so many cool people, like old friends and new friends on this set. And then uh, there's a movie coming out called I'm so sorry, I'm so blonde right now.
Can't help
I'm
you.
like
I,
failing
I'm
at
looking. I'm looking at the looking what's coming up here. There seems to be a lot of fun movies. You got a lot of fun projects coming up. You got
oh
a
my
Blood Moon Rising. You have I like this one, Gone with the Dead.
ooh, that's the one I was trying to think of. That's a zombie film.
Right, right. Did you get
That
to? Are you playing a zombie in that?
no, I'm a zombie killer.
Ooh, yeah. Looks like some zombies are getting slapped.
Silly, you can't kill a zombie by slapping them.
I don't know. You loosen the tooth with it. I think you could probably not kill a zombie.
Well, if the apocalypse comes, I guess.
I can see it now walking up there and the walking slapped. Oh yeah, Bunny's been here.
Oh my gosh.
I can see you going up there slapping some zombie and his head be spinning around like in a cartoon. Hey, take that, son of a bitch! Slap.
Oh, satire to me.
Now, are you going to be doing the makeup in that movie? Now have you done special effects makeup?
I have, and I'll do them whenever they need me to, as to the best of my ability. I'm not as good as like Dan Acosta or David Ainsworth, and um, oh, my husband's home, so there's going to be a cacophony of dogs right now. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
it's okay. I only got a couple more questions for you, so before we let you go, let's see. Brink Stevens and Bunny Stewart team up. Oh, you get to work with Brink Stevens. Oh
Oh,
wow,
oh yeah.
yeah. She's an icon.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it. I tell you what. Let's see. Helga has a question. Are you? Oh, yes, that's the question. Ask the question I just did. Um, let's see. Yeah, it's about the makeup. Dude, were you going to do the zombie makeup? Yeah. Have you done a lot of special effects makeup yet? I mean, then you don't. Is there something are you still working on?
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Um, is that something you plan on working on to become to do better makeup, special effects makeup, or are you just gonna just do the acting and what you know already?
Mm. Well, I'm always down to learn, and I actually love doing special effects makeup, and I actually wanted to talk to Dan Acosta, who is a really talented Sacramento makeup artist. I'm hoping maybe he could take me under his wing, and maybe I could, trade some glamour style makeup for just learning how
I
he
think that's
does it.
a good idea. I think that's a great idea. I think, yeah, exchanging skill sets with somebody, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a good deal, and Dan's amazing.
Um, let's see. Steve is saying, "Where's the petition to be slapped by Bunny Stewart?" That would actually make a great T-shirt with a face on front of the shirt with a half of it all red. On the back of it said, "I survived being slapped by Bunny." That
Oh
was the next Kickstarter project you have. You should do that. Whoever does it, they should make up a T-shirt like that. I survived the slap by Bunny. Uh,
I feel like that has litigious energy to it.
I think it's a lot of fun because nobody would ever suspect you of that. They see you as such a real quiet, petite, beautiful lady, and the last thing you expect is for you to be able to walk up there and Mike Tyson them with via a slap. I think it's awesome.
I'll start to
I think Helga likes the idea. The bunny slapping booth. That was from Blaine. So a mouth guard included, right, Blaine? We got to put the mouth guard included. So
have him sign some things before it happened. And
sure, you can
I
sign
would have
you can sign the dental chart. With
I would have to make a lot worth it.
um. All right, boys and girls, we have run out of time for our show tonight. I definitely want to thank the chat for having a great time and keeping the chat rolling along. You guys really rocked it again tonight. Thank you so much. You guys don't know how much I needed this today. I needed this show today. And Bunny, I can't thank you enough as well. I'm just a very delightful person, really warm, and I'm so happy you're here. I had such a great time with you, and I do hope that you'll come back and visit us. And yeah, it would be great to have you come back on, and we'll catch up with you and see what you've been doing.
I would
Um,
absolutely that. Thank you so much. It's been such an honor and a pleasure talking with you today.
Tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow we are dark, Friday, but Saturday we'll be back here on the channel at 2 o'clock Eastern time, as we'll be talking with film director Richard Stanley. Do you know who Richard Stanley is?
I feel like I know that name. What
Uh,
does he
he, he directed a movie called Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
So he'll be here Saturday to talk about his career, and we'll be joined by famed bass player extraordinaire Jerry Montano. He's also he played the bass in Danzig, and he's also a huge cinephile. And he'll be here with us on Saturday as well. and we'll be joined by James from the Friendly Men, and probably my sister. My sister's probably going to hang out with us on Saturday. That'll be fun.
Aw.
We will be talking with Richard Stanley at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. And next Monday at 8 o'clock on the channel, the Midnight Society returns as we'll be joined by Danny Nightmare, and he and I will be discussing The Crow and Daredevil 2003. Uh, Speaking of heroes, right? Have you seen The Crow or Daredevil?
Ooh, yeah, actually I've seen both. Incredible.
Which one would you like? Which one do you like better?
I am drawn to the broodingness of the Crow, and
Brooding.
Daredevil. I like the hero. Yeah.
So that's a perfect answer because they're both kick-ass heroes.
Right.
Yeah, I can't wait either. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll be doing that next Monday. And you'll see me advertise that around, and hopefully we'll see you guys there for one of the two shows. Thank you for all coming up and staying around with us, and we will see you Saturday afternoon. Bunny, stay right where you at for 1 minute, and to everybody else, we're going to say goodnight. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.